Hail, Vafthruthnir! I have come to your lofty hall in the hope of seeing you. I would ask you first, giant, whether you have won your famous knowledge through learning, or if wisdom is inherent within you.
Who is the man that speaks to me? Never shall you leave my dwelling unless wiser than me you are.
They call me Gagnarath, and I come thirsty from my hard journey. I was hoping to find a gentle greeting.
Why stand there on the floor as you speak? You will have a seat in my hall. Then we shall soon know whose knowledge is greater, that of the guest, or the ancient sage.
If a poor man reaches the home of the rich, let him speak wisely or be still. For he who chatters to a hard-hearted host, shall his chattering work him ill?
Speak now, Gagnarath, if unseated you would make your wisdom known. What name has the steed that each morning draws the sun?
Screenplay is he who draws the day for men. The best of horses, his mane burns brightly.
Speak now, Gagnarath, if unseated you would make your wisdom known. What steed brings from the east the night for the noble gods?
Hrimfaxi is the name given to the steed who brings night for the noble gods. Each morning from his bit falls foam, and from there comes the dews in the dales.
Speak now, Gagnarath, if unseated you would make your wisdom known. What name has the river that flows between the realms of the gods and the giants?
Ifing is the river that flows between the realms of the gods and giants. It will flow for all of time, for it never freezes over.
Speak now, Gagnarath, if unseated you would make your wisdom known. What is the name of the field on which Surt shall meet the gracious gods in battle?
Vigorith is the field on which Surt shall meet the gracious gods in battle. Vast are its boundaries, for it measures 100 leagues each way.
You are wise, guest. Sit beside me, so that rooted we may speak further. Here in the hall, O guest, we shall wager our heads on our wisdom.
First, answer me well. If your wisdom avails, and you can answer, Vafthruthnir. In the beginning, whence came the earth, or the sky?
The earth was fashioned out of Ymir's flesh, and the mountains were made of his bones, the sky from the frost-cold giant's skull, and the ocean from his blood.
Next, answer me well, if your wisdom avails, and you can answer, Vafthruthnir. Whence came the day that fares over mankind, or night with the narrowing moon?
The father of day is named Dealing, and the night was begotten by Nor. The full and old moon were fashioned by the gods, to tell the time for men.
Third, answer me well, if your wisdom avails, and you can answer, Vafthruthnir. Whence did the winter come, or the warm summer, with the dawn of the gracious gods?
Vinsval was he who was winter's father, and Svulsuth begat summer.
Fourth, answer me well, if your wisdom avails, and you can answer, Vafthruthnir. What giant was first fashioned of old, and is the eldest of Ymir's kin?
Unmeasurable winters ago, before the earth was made, was the birth of Bergelmir, the strong son of Thruthgelmir, himself the son of old Ymir.
Fifth, answer me well, if your wisdom avails, and you can answer, Vafthruthnir. Whence did Ymir and the giant race come?
Venom down from Elivagar dropped and waxed until it was a giant, and thence our giant's race arose, and thus so fierce are our ways.
6th, answer me well, if your wisdom avails, and you can answer, Vafthruthnir. How did Ymir father children, when never did he know a giantess?
They say beneath the arms of the giant of ice grew a boy and maid together, and foot with foot did the wise one fashion a son who bore 6 heads.
7th, answer me well, if your wisdom avails, and you can answer, Vafthruthnir. Whence comes the wind that fares over the waves, yet is never itself seen?
As an eagle, and at the end of heaven they say Hraesvelg sits, and from his wings does the wind come forth to move over the world of men.
8th, answer me now, if you know the fate that is fixed for the gods. What of Niorth, who came among the Aesir, though of them he was never begot?
In Vanaheim was he born, and then given as hostage to the Aesir. At the fall of the world shall he once more fare home to the fair Vanir.
9th, answer me now, if you know the fate that is fixed for the gods. What men are they who, in Odin's home, go forth each day to fight?
The Einherjar, who each day go forth to fight, fail each other, but are soon healed, and, by night, are ready to feast in Odin's halls.
Much have I fared, much have I found, much have I learnt of the gods. What shall be left of mankind after the mighty winter falls?
In Hodmamir's woods shall Leaf and Lithrasi hide themselves. The morning dew will be their meat, and from them a new race shall rise.
Much have I fared, much have I found, much have I learnt of the gods. When does the sun return to the sky, after being snatched by Fenrir's fangs?
The bright sun bears a daughter before being snatched by Fenrir, and on her mother's path shall the maiden tread when the gods have gone to their death.
Much have I fared, much have I found, much have I learnt of the gods. Who will then rule the realm of the gods, once the fires of Surt are slaked?
Odin's sons, Vithar and Vali, shall dwell in the home of the gods, once Surt's fires have sunk. Whilst Mothi and Magni will inherit Mjolnir, when their father Thor falls in battle.
Much have I fared, much have I found, much have I learnt of the gods. What shall bring the doom of death to Odin, when the gods go to their destruction?
The wolf shall fell the father of men, and this Vithar will avenge. He shall tear apart the terrible jaws, and thus slay the wolf.
Much have I fared, much have I found, much have I learnt of the gods. What speaks Odin in the ears of his son, before on the balefire he is burnt?
No man can tell what you will speak in the ears of your son. My boastful mouth has sealed my doom. In knowledge I have striven against Odin, and ever wiser you are.